Today I've got another little job to do on V70S. So I'm replacing the thermostat because I've been suffering from poor fuel economy, which does coincide somewhat with the 6-speed gearbox conversion that I did. But I have noticed that the car is taking an awful long time to warm up. And as the one or both of the front wheel bearings have gone, I've got quite a loud rumbling, and I've got plenty of cars on the go. I thought it'd be a good time to get this part changed. This is the genuine Volvo part. I've got this from Riverside Volvo in Hull, and with a nice little trade discount, thanks to Rowan, this was £80 plus VAT. So the thermostat is located at the top left of the engine at the front. Now, due to the location of the thermostat at the top of the engine, but well below the expansion tank, you probably will want to drain a little bit of the coolant. To drain the coolant on the P2 V70, we need to get underneath and remove this plastic cover here, which is just held on at each end with a 10mm bolt. Yours may be tucked in properly behind the bumper, but I can't get mine to fit anymore. You've now got two options. You can either use the drain screw here, which you can put a pipe onto and drain to wherever you like, or possibly a much easier option, in my opinion, is loosen this Jubilee clip here and remove the bottom hose. But I will show this. You'll need a 13mm deep socket. So obviously the advantage of using the correct drain point is you can attach a hose of the correct size on there and direct the coolant wherever you like. If you're having any problems with the drain at all, then using a 7mm socket or a flathead screwdriver, you can loosen the bottom hose and drain it out here instead. And make sure that you remove the expansion tank cap so the water isn't held on with vacuum. While we're waiting for the coolant to drain out, we can prepare to remove the power steering pump, which we'll need to move out of the way to access the bolts on the thermostat housing. On the early models, you can remove this ECU box to give you a bit more room down the side of the engine. On the later models, the ECU is on top of the airbox, so you won't need to worry about doing this. But you may have a cover over the belt which just requires 2 T30 Torx screws to remove. Now with the T60 Torx inserted in the tensioner, preferably a longer breaker bar than this, but if you turn the tensioner clockwise you can release the tension on the belt and pull it up over the pulley. Now with the belt removed, ignore the fact my pulley is damaged on the power steering pump. You'll need to line up the holes so that we can remove what look like 12mm bolts, 4 of them, to loosen the power steering pump. So we'll need to note that the rear top one was longer. Both rear ones are longer. So we've got 3 long ones and the top front one is shorter. Whether that's original or not, I imagine it is. It does look like a Volvo bolt. I don't know. That's what the case is on this car. So we've got that. We've got the power steering pump loose at the front. Now we've got another 12mm here. Rather than just remove this bolt here, I've removed the bolt for this bracket from the block. I'm going to remove this bolt and also this one here, holding the pipe in position. I haven't been able to remove this bolt at the end as the clip appears to have been bent down over it, but it doesn't matter. We've got the 2 bolts out from this bracket here. We can pull this bracket out of the way and manoeuvre the power steering pump over the left of the engine, out of the way. While we've been busy with the power steering pump, 2 or 3 litres have drained out of the coolant system. So now we can remove this top hose. Disconnects the connector for the temperature sensor. So now what we've got is two T40 torque screws that we need to remove. So not these T30s that we've got on the thermostat itself. We're removing the complete housing, and in order to access the bottom one, there are two holes drilled out of this large engine bracket, and if you insert a Torx T-handle into the upper hole, you can get the bolt out at the bottom, which otherwise you wouldn't be able to get to. You're going to want to make sure that the Torx tool is fully inserted in the bolt. I don't know where the bolt's going to go once it's loose. Hopefully not going to drop it. Can't really see. Get a magnet. This thing has saved me so many times. Right, so the bolt is actually long enough that it won't fall out, so that's good news. So we just need to undo the top one. So we can pull the top one out fully. And now with the bolts removed, we can remove the old thermostat. Out of curiosity, I was going to test the thermostats side by side, but it was actually a lot easier than even using hot water. So this is the original thermostat, and if I pour water in here, it leaks out, which shows that the thermostat isn't sealing or is stuck open, basically. If I do the same thing with the new thermostat, it holds the water and it stays in. So that's sealed and not stuck open. Before refitting, we can use an XNGL Bojo tool to clean up the mating surface. Obviously the new thermostat is brand new and clean, so we just need to make sure that this is a good clean surface for the new thermostat to seat. There's no gasket, so I'm using Gasket Maker. This particular one is high temperature gasket maker, but you don't necessarily need this. The black one that you get is rated up to 200 degrees anyway. What you'll need to do is smear a small amount on the thermostat housing. And if you want, you could do the same on the block as well. And now with the bottom bolt in position, we can refit the thermostat. Everything from here on is the reversal of removal, so I'm going to get it all put back together and we'll top up the coolant. I've already tightened the drain plug on the radiator, so we just need to get everything put back together now. So everything back together now, ready to top up the coolant. If you're wondering why the expansion tank on this car is purple, it's because when I did the gearbox conversion, I switched from red to blue coolant, which has created purple. But hopefully, as this is the second time blue is going in, that should be enough to clear the system out properly. If you've kept the coolant that you removed clean, you could potentially put that back in, but the system does self-bleed, so if you just fill the expansion tank above the maximum, run the engine, and it may be 2 or 3 times that you'll have to top it up, but it will settle and this engine isn't prone to airlocking. Thanks for watching. I really hope that this video has helped. I forgot to mention the mileage, which isn't going up as quick as I would like, because at the time of recording it's been 6 weeks since the V70 was rear-ended and I still haven't had any resolve with the insurer, unfortunately. So I haven't been putting many miles on because the boot is stuck shut. But look out for more videos in the future, and thanks for the continued support.